Hello, my name is Terrell. If you see me in the street, you can call me Rell or Rell Savage. And here's an outpour of my story. My coming out story, I remember when I was younger that I knew I had an attraction for males. And my mom, she's been married 18 years to my stepfather, and he, being a heterosexual male, sensed that I was homosexual, so he would tell my mother like he's gay or he's homosexual, and my mother will always defend me or take up for me. And then one day, I don't remember the age, but I do remember one day I sat down with my mom at the kitchen and I was just like, I just wanted to be myself. I was tired of hiding, and I wanted to be myself and be comfortable and have a bond with my mother and be able to talk to her about relationships, about gay friendships and everything. So I sat down with her at the kitchen. I told her that I was homosexual, I was gay, and she said she felt like I was, but she was going to defend my name and my honor until I wanted to label myself that. So that was my coming out story, but I don't remember too much of it because my coming out story was smooth. I hear other people say that they had hard times and their family disowned them. I didn't have any of that. My family supported me. My cousin, she was my biggest supporter. My aunt, everybody. It was like, oh, you gay? The hardest person was probably my brother because he is like really hood and he's tough. So he was like, he really was tripping about it, but he was like, okay, you're my brother, I love you. So if that's what you are, then I support you. Growing up in Houston, how was it like? It was great. I love my city. Actually, I felt like growing up gay in Houston, coming out in the scene, I had help. I had mentors. I was abducted early into a gay family at the age of like 15, and the gay daddy at the time that I had, I no longer do gay families, I don't believe in them, but the gay daddy I did have at the time, he was good and bad in a way. He had pros and cons. The pros were he told me about drugs, he told me about STDs, he told me about the lifestyle, thieving, scamming, everything that came with a gay lifestyle that a normal gay teenager wouldn't know coming up in had they not had somebody there. My gay father at the time, at the age of 15, his pros were he just gave me basic gay lifestyle knowledge on what not to do, what to watch out for, what to expect, and what goes on in the lifestyle. And I appreciated that because I didn't know anything about that age. I knew about drugs, but I wasn't exposed to drugs, if that makes sense. I knew about cocaine and crack and heroin and weed, but I didn't see people do it until I got into the gay lifestyle. So he basically gave me the knowledge and he made sure that I didn't get swept into that. So he was there for me in that aspect. He was there for me when I needed someone to talk to. And he was also there for me when people tried to talk to me or be with me. He would tell me or lace me up. That's what we say in Houston. He would tell me, basically lace me up like, this person got this going on, that going on. So he would give me information. He would look out for me. But in the cons, as far as gay families, from what I experienced is, well, I was saying that what I experienced is also what other people have said. So is that my gay father at the time tried to sleep with me on countless numbers of times. My gay brothers tried to sleep with me. My gay uncle tried to flirt with me. And it just became to a point to where I was just like, this is not for me. I don't do stuff like that. I don't, like, if I call somebody my brother, like, we like this. We not sleeping, we not rocking like that. So that's what made me shy away from the gay lifestyle or the gay family. How I felt about leaving my gay family, I didn't feel any type of way because I still remain in contact with them. I just didn't consider them family. So it's kind of like, okay, like it was never real from the get-go. And it's not like we grew up together, you know what I'm saying? Like I met them when I got into the gay lifestyle. They seen a fresh face on the gay scene, a nice looking face, you know, dressed nice, whatever, socialite. And so they wanted to basically adopt me into their family so they can, I feel like gay families are all just about having a bigger name. This is no disrespect to anyone that has or anyone, but to me, from what I've experienced, that's how I feel. So I didn't have any feelings towards it because I still remain in contact with everybody. I just was like, well, high school I went to was North Forest High School, Houston, Texas, on Mesa Drive. I graduated there. I went there all 4 years. In the midst of me going to North Forest, my mother uprooted my life. Because I didn't go to the 8th grade. I went from 7th grade straight to 9th grade. I came out my senior year. And I was one of the most popular kids in school. So I didn't want to go to prom with a male because homophobics in high school. When I first got to high school in 9th grade, I was bullied until I started having to fight. I had to physically fight people and beat them up, and then I gained a name for myself. But I didn't want to bring that much. I didn't want to put that much on me, bringing a dude to prom. So I went to prom with my sister. How did I process myself into the adult entertainment world? I basically wanted a new niche or a new job or a new profession, however you want to say it. I was living in Houston, and I went from being working a 9-to-5, and I realized that 9-to-5 is not for me. I don't want to do a 9-to-5. So I went from doing that to styling. I did local styling. I styled for a few celebrities. And when I started doing that, I started creating a name for myself. My following went up. However, it wasn't bringing in the income as quick as I wanted it to. So I got into scamming, which is something that my first gay father told me not to do. But I started scamming. I scammed for 4 to 5 years. I made a great life for myself. I took care of myself. I took care of my family members. I made a lot of money. A lot of money. So I got into that. Then when it started dying out, for me, is when legal actions came into play with my team, because I was scamming with the team. So I had a team of people that me and my people would go to different cities and different places and do certain things, scam. And when they basically fell or got caught up in legal situations and went to jail, I was like, okay, it's time for me to back out, because obviously I'm protected by God. I'm a strong believer in God, and I'm just like, I haven't got caught up yet. Everyone else has, so let me stop while I'm ahead. So I wanted a different scenery. I moved to Atlanta a little over a year ago. I moved, and when I got here, I didn't want to scam, because I knew Atlanta was like full of scammers. I didn't want to be a part of that anymore. So I had to think of something that was going to sustain my lifestyle that I created for the past 4 to 5 years. And that's when I met my ex. And my ex was basically like, you can go far in this industry. You know, you have the body, the personality, and etc. And he was like, I know my fans will love you, so you can get your own fan base in this. So I was like, okay. And I was kind of hesitant at first, but I've always been sexually open. Plus I had fantasies that I had wanted to fulfill sexually. Being on camera was one of them. And when I did it, I didn't have no problem. When I did do it, I didn't have a problem with it. It didn't bother me. So, and then when I seen how much money I made off the first video, I was like, okay, this can sustain the lifestyle that I built. So that's got me started in the. My ex is Zaddy Corvinus. Growing up, I grew up without a father. My daddy died, passed away when I was 2, so I have no memory of him. My family on his side disowned me. I supposedly have 8 brothers and sisters that know me, but I don't know them because my mom had a baby with my father, which was me. However, he was married, so she was technically a mistress. And when I was born, this whole side of the family disowned me. So I never got to meet them. Then my mother lived a very hard lifestyle growing up with my grandmother. They were poor, so my mother started dealing drugs in the hood, and she started selling kilos of crack. She ended up going to jail, and my grandmother got temporary custody of me and my brother. So I started living with me and my grandmother. Me and my brother, my grandmother started living together. Then my brother started selling drugs. He started selling crack, cocaine, and selling on the block, and he got taken to jail. And he did time in jail. Me and my grandmother got evicted from the apartment, her apartment that she had. We had no income. We slept on the streets, under the bridge, homeless, no money, nothing. I would remember she would tell me to go to the store, to the gas station, and she'll have a cup for me to ask for change, and they would give us change, and by the end of the night we would count the coins that we had and buy snacks from the gas station with it, until someone told her about the Star of Hope shelter, which is downtown Houston. And she filed the application, went to the Star of Hope, did an application, and was admitted, and we lived in a shelter for about 4 years. That was a very, very hard experience. Like, for me, that was a tough time because the shelter is almost like jail. They wake you up, they feed you, but they tell you when to eat, they tell you when to come in and go to sleep. There's no TV in there. It's nothing but a bed in a shelter, in your room, a bed and a shower. So that's not jail. I don't know what it is. So yeah, it was hard growing up. When I got older, I told myself that I was not going to be broke by any means necessary. So that's probably where my drive came in. A lifestyle, period, as far as the gay community, as far as interacting with them. When I say interacting with them, I mean the scene, like the club scene, the nightlife. I would tell my younger self not to do it because I got caught up in the hype. If I made better conscious decisions and stayed home, I'm real, this is my story, and I'm sticking to it.